Well, hello all. When I proposed to my wife 46 years ago, we were sitting on a pavement with our feet in the gutter in a suburb called Hillbrow in Johannesburg, a real iffy suburb where everything sort of bad happened. And I proposed to her as follows. I hadn't even thought it through. I hadn't that day even thought of marriage. But hey, the passion carries you. And I said to her, we should get married. But I want to tell you this, that we will never be rich. And 46 years later, I have kept my promise. We never were rich. So she was, well, I was blessed enough that she accepted the proposal. Message to parents out there, get the guy should go down on one knee with a big diamond ring and have a big fat job and salary. But I must say, one of the most wonderful attributes of my wife was she was always quite cheap to maintain. I mean, how can I say that she was satisfied with very little, just like me. So she didn't mind. I mean, the very fact that she accepted such a dumb proposal from in such a stupid situation shows that she didn't really care that much about, you know, she obviously didn't care that much about materialism. That if you get something for nothing, you get so excited about it. But if you were, let's say, rich, Johnny Depp or any of these wonderful celebrities, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, you name them, and you filthy rich, and you get something for nothing, I mean, does it matter? You can throw millions at anything. But if I go into a shop and I get a bargain, wow, I get all excited. Or if I brew my own alcohol, and from 1 cup of sugar and 2 liters of warm water and some yeast, I get excited that I'm getting my alcohol real cheap. So when a friend, Mike, offered me his solar cooker, oh boy, you mean I think there's 1,000 watts of, yeah, kilowatt of energy per meter squared. This is a meter-sized solar cooker. I thought, fantastic! I'm getting free solar energy, and yeah. So I managed to set this thing up in this video and boil my first thing of water. I didn't fry my eyes out. I didn't burn my hands. It was all very pleasant. I would say with any of this kind of technology, you've just got to be aware of what's going on. You've got to make sure that you don't get your hands on the focal point of that light beam. It's like a big magnifying glass, and it's got that focal point, and where the light focuses on, which is the pot, not your hands. Hopefully, I managed to keep my hands out of the way. I didn't stick my head into that beam of rays. So kids, I would say this is not something for you without adult supervision, but I was so happy to get my first pot of water boiling. So have a look at this video. So we have a hole there. I think because the ground slopes slightly down, I'm going to put the shortest one in. Right, so there's our first piece of wood in. Now we need the next one exactly here. So there is where the next one goes. One. This has to go a little bit more this way. That this is totally level. So it's just about, this one is just about right with this one, but this one's got to go in just a tiny bit more. So those two now seem to be level. Okay, that's level. So now we've just got to screw that on like that. That's a pretty sick drill, and I don't mean that in a good way. Right, that's tightened down, lovely. So there is our stable, level base. Now I'm carrying it so that it's facing away from the sun. Put that in its little hole. And there we are. You can swing around. But I have to be very careful. First of all, I don't want it to blind my camera. I don't want it to blind me. I'm making sure that it's facing away from the sun. Seems to be all nicely set up. And then we just put our cooker on top. So let's get the cooker set up. And then we can angle it into the sun using this little knob, which changes the, what do you call that in astronomy, the azimuth, the elevation, whatever. And then we have, as you turn it around, there is a little knob down here which tightens it so that it stays put, so it doesn't swing around. Now with the stall angled away from the sun is, so this is facing away from the sun, there's no sun falling on this. I have some safety glasses on just in case. And we put that in there and push a bolt in from this side. So there's our bolt. Then we can, if we want to use this, a piece of aluminium, we can use this, and that heats up the aluminium. And then we put the pot on top, or we can leave out the aluminium. All the aluminium does is spread the heat, and there we go. Now all we have to do is point it at the sun, and let's leave that. So I'm just playing now to see how one can tell where the rays of the sun are falling. Looks great. We'll see if we can actually, because the sun is still quite low, we'll see if we can get this to boil. So if you look on in the exact middle of the frame, you can see there's a white looking focus of light rays on the aluminium base. So I went away for 5 or 10 minutes to get this better mirror. Yeah, the spot is still on the aluminium disc, so all looks still pretty good. Don't you just love it when you get something for nothing? Just look how nice is that. You can see the steam coming from the pot. Look at that water boiling. Woohoo! Free energy from the sun. Fantastic.